Yeah, jump in, James, if you like. That'd be great. Do we need any music? We don't need music, do we?
Nope.
Hey, I just got my new card, and I know this isn't necessarily real estate related, although it could be. You know, your credit cards now are all pretty much chipped.
Chipped,
right?
Yeah.
I just went to Samsung Pay or Android Pay for my phone, and I'm digging it.
Yeah. No, I like Android Pay. I like it a lot.
I'm digging it, man. I don't know about Apple Pay, but he's calling in. I think you let him in.
I just saw.
Android Pay. It's like now the only problem I saw with it was that I can't go through the drive-through and get a McDonald's Big Mac because I'm not going to hand somebody my phone. So for that, you still need your card if you use your card, not cash.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain things you see. A lot of places like Starbucks are starting to actually have a extended wire. So these people are now handing the machine out to the car, so you can
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
slide through and things like that. You're starting to see things like that are happening. I laugh all the time because the microchip pins have made it interesting for a lot of these companies. Where before you would just hand the card, they would swipe it, but now you got to put the PIN code in. You're not going to give those idiots the PIN code,
right?
And so it's made it interesting. So they've been actually adding hardware to a lot of companies that I don't think was foreseen.
It told me too that if I lose my phone, it gives you like some kind of code or whatever that you can then wipe your phone clear. I mean, if it gets stolen or something, it zaps the phone.
Well, and that's fine too. But with if you have an Android phone, you just use the device manager and you can erase anything from anywhere.
Yeah. I think that's what it kind of prompted me to do. I didn't even realize it was there, but it did prompt me to say, hey, you lose your phone, here's a way that you can zap it so that your identity and everything is, safe.
Everybody should have either find my iPhone if you're an iPhone user or have the device manager on Android. It's minimum.
Yeah.
Hey, James, how's it going, man?
How you doing? Sorry, I just heard you guys talk about some technical stuff. I'm out here in Taiwan, and it's interesting, this Spreecast here. And I plugged into webcams, and I found out that the browsers can access both separate webcams. So that means that you can be able to broadcast to both Spreecast and Blab at the same time.
Yeah, no,
that's interesting.
So you have two different cameras then?
Yeah, and I use something called like a little audio splitter, and it actually, well, I know the video part works for sure, but I haven't tested the audio, and I just did a quick test just now, so.
Well, your audio is kind of echoey right now.
I'm sorry.
So I don't know if that's because you're using two different cameras or what it is, but.
No, it sounds like he's in a chamber.
Yeah, it sounds like probably my compression is a little bit too high. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. You sound like you're in a cave or something.
Yeah. Oops. I'm sorry about that. Let me turn it.
No worries. I mean, it sounds okay.
Doesn't say it's fine.
Okay, yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah,
but it could be a technical thing. So.
Yeah, I'll straighten it out. I'll do a recording. But this Spreecast sounds interesting. But Blab has been having some issues recently, and they had a discussion on last week where they are not going to go for, say, you guys that are broadcasting here or podcasters like myself.
Yeah, myself too. Yeah, right.
They're just going to go for people just hanging out like at a street corner, just talking. But I don't know how you're going to monetize that.
Yeah, they're going after that app, right? And so, the one thing I'll say about Blab here, I think that they've done they've kind of done some discovery here that there is a space for this type of video conferencing, if you will, or whatever you want to call this. And I wish they would have taken it to another level, and they were really heavily involved in just this. But they said, according to what I heard, I don't know, and I'm not trying to start any rumors, but most of the Blabs, most of the attention were just hangouts.
Right.
Just people hanging out, like you said, on the corner, talking, whatever. And if you go into younow.com, that's a very popular live streaming platform, especially for teenagers. There's not uncommon to see over 2,000 people watching one person.
Wow, sleeping, right?
Well, some of them are sleeping. There's a lot of talent on there, actually. There's a lot of teenagers on there playing guitar, singing, like America Got Talent or something like that. And people can actually donate to them.
This is very weird. I was reading in the Chinese newspapers that in mainland China, from Taiwan, but mainland China, which is really making money, like they can support people, like you said, it's
Yeah.
just these video casts, more like maybe something like Meerkat or something, or like Black, where people just film themselves sleeping and people just coming there watching out.
That's something that I think that because they were talking about, I heard the same kind of thing, and I think that's something that's short lived. People are going to get tired of that. People right now, in my opinion, are interested because it's live, and it's kind of like what do you call it? Not eavesdropping, but the creeper staring at somebody's window. Yeah, and so it's new to people, and that I think will go away.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah, I mean that's like the Periscope thing when people are smoking dope, and it's like, okay, all right, I get you can smoke some dope, whatever, man. Next, it's a trendy kind of thing just because it's new, So I think that's going to go away, and it's going to demand more talent, because when I'm on You Now and I see it, it's a bunch of teenagers, and some of those people can really sing. Holy cow, really good.
Maybe so there is there's a option or a chance to start something like an online, you got talent or something like that.
Yeah, that's really what it. Now the categories on this I don't really like on You Now, because it's girls, boys, so it's teenagers kind of being teenagers. There really isn't a professional level on there, where Spreecast seems to be pretty professional. Blab, in my opinion, had deteriorated a little bit.
A little?
Yeah. I mean, I'm being nice, I guess.
Yeah.
When it first started, there was
being nice. They've already said they don't care about us.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, it was very professional. It was kind of the LinkedIn of video, really. I really enjoyed the level of professionalism of people, the courtesy. People were mindful of other people's feelings, if you will, and the opinions and all that kind of stuff. Now it seems to be kind of a rant.
This reminds me of CB radio back in the United States. When CB radio came out, people on 27 megahertz, going crazy after a while.
What's your breaker handle?
Yeah, I'm a ham operator, so I came from that kind of. I still have grudges against that.
So yeah, Blab it's deteriorated, and then with these private Blabs and stuff like that, and they had one private Blab that was actually posted publicly, and it was a pornographic Blab. Not good.
That hasn't got up on those top news feeds. Blab, this is this immoral platform. I think we lost Justin.
Yeah, we did. Hey, good morning, everyone.
Hi,
he'll come back in.
Oh, there he goes.
So,
sorry, I crashed your guys' party. Sorry about that.
No, you're not crashing at all, man. This is, we kind of get together every Friday at this time. So feel free to, come in and do this. We, try to talk about real estate in technology and how technology can help with agents. Justin's very versed in technology, and he's an agent there in Chicago, Illinois, or just outside of Chicago.
It's 12:21 a.m. here. I'm a day ahead of you guys.
Yeah, man. Holy cow, you're dedicated.
And a night owl, obviously.
Yeah, right? Holy cow, 12.
I'd be sleeping.
So now, how is, let me ask you this, James, over there in Taiwan, how is live streaming? Is it popular? Is it not popular? Is it just catching on?
Well,
do you have Facebook Live there? I don't even know if you...
Oh, yes, we do.
You do?
It came out first stateside. Here, because Taiwan is a tech place, this is where the iPhones 8 and 9 chips are built. People are quite techie here. Mm-hmm. But there's a certain type of gimmicky type of things people go for. Here, the internet connections are really lightning fast. This is the normal 100 up and down line. We got 300 megabits to your home now. And 300. And my 4G connection can easily get up to 75 megabytes, up and down.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is not the best in Asia. If you go to Korea, it's amazing too.
Yeah.
Korea and Singapore, yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, there's a few pockets here in the United States that have that now, but very few. Google Fiber seems to be getting some traction here. Certain cities are getting. I think Tempe here in Phoenix, they authorize that. I think they start that this year. Actually,
The U.S. is so big, though. To upgrade infrastructure is not something you can do like that.
Right. Yeah, there you're a little more compact in your cities and things like that.
And this is where tech, is all built up here. A lot of the companies that built, the famous products for Google or Apple, the offices are here. They're actually Taiwan companies, but they have factories in mainland China.
Now, do you find a lot of people using YouTube Live or anything like that, or
Not at all here? Here, what's big is, believe it or not, I'm going to tell you guys, are going to laugh. Bulletin boards.
Sure.
what, like on a light post kind of bulletin board?
No, BBS. And I mean old school BBS. The background is black, ASCII. Believe it or not, it's still big here. Facebook, of course, is kicking.
Yeah.
But if you look more like in Japan, they have their own version of Facebook, their own version of YouTube that is really like Nico in Japan is really popular. And they even have telephones there that only people in Japan have that are really, really made for that market with all kinds of functions.
That's cool. That's it's interesting, man. It's very interesting. There's a new social thing. I ought to put it on here. I invite you guys to it. Justin, for you for sure. IMSI. Have you heard of IMSI?
Not at all. Maybe
anybody in the room. It's beta. I'll send you guys an invite here. Hang on one second here, because you have to be invited into it. But and I forget who started this. Beauty Bubble here in Blab. She's the one that kind of invited me, and it's an invite only kind of thing. And so let me see if I can get you guys. I think I need your emails or something. Let me see. I started one called All Things Real Estate. I just started it like last, I don't know, 2 days ago or something like that. Let me see here. I don't know how well it's going to take off, but there seems to be quite a few people on it already, and it's not even released. They're supposed to release it in July, so hang on. So I can either relay it through email or through phone number.
While you're looking that up, you got to talk about real estate. What they started doing here, they started actually doing 3D videos of homes.
Yeah, Matterport's the technology typically.
It's really cool. It's really
smart. I was talking to people over the week here. There are some offices that actually understand it, and they actually bought the product so they have it in their own office, and they're going to knock it out of the park because that's where it's going to be very quickly.
And the cameras are really tiny, about like this, and different lenses. They actually walk around. It's incredible.
Well, there's even a different technology, because you're talking about more of a 360 view type of camera. There's actually technology out there today. It's a company called Matterport, but there's other companies that do it, that literally stick what is it? It's probably, like a big shoebox size container, and it literally circles around the room and takes laser points of every spot in the house. So then you're actually getting a legitimate 3D view of the house, and you're not, it doesn't require me to walk around. It's a legitimate 3D view. Actual size and dimensions, everything's in place. It's really pretty solid, and it's going to change the game pretty quick.
Well, there's another university, a bunch of students. They are working on a remote robot that you can control from a website using a PHP. Like you can actually give it commands to walk around a house, and you can actually see the video and everything of an empty house, which seems to be cool. And scary at the same time.
No, that's neat. Especially for vacant homes, that could definitely be a handy solution.
And believe me, here we have a lot of empty homes.
Sure.
I mean, tons. I mean, your guys will go crazy out here. I mean, it's unbelievable. And a lot of people who are well financed in mainland China buy houses here as an investment, just leave them, raising mosquitoes.
Sure.
It's unbelievable.
I'm going to get a video here of a gentleman. I think this guy's in New Zealand. And he did a 360 degree video. And what's cool about this is that you can actually click, and this is on YouTube, you can actually click on the video and spin the video around in YouTube. So this is where I think it's going as well. So this is a little bit better than Matterport, in my opinion. The video quality here, the guy didn't do very good on lighting as far as that goes. So let me hit mute on this.
Yeah, I see this.
But this is really pretty cool. I'll and we can do it. And I'll put it here in the pin here. I'll drop it in here so everybody can see it. You can actually click on this video that'll. Okay, so this probably won't show up on the recording, but you can actually click on this video and spin it around while in Blab here. So hopefully this will play here.
It's playing. It's working here.
You got fast internet.
Yeah, it's working really fast here.
Okay. So now click on the video and you can rotate it. You see in the upper left-hand corner the
Hi, welcome to Warner.
I can actually drag on this video. I can actually drag on top of it.
Yeah, you can drag on top of the video. Just grab it and move it to where you want, right? So it's pretty cool.
I bet you I know what kind of camera this was done with.
It looks like it was like on a, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm imagining.
And this is the technology. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this guy, I don't know, Australia, New Zealand, I don't know, somewhere, Southern hemisphere kind of thing. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know what a camera this is because I know what this is because I can see the cameraman's feet sometimes. And because of the shape, I know what kind of camera this is because we edit something like this in Final Cut at one time. Yeah.
So now this is, what's cool about this, you could do all kinds of stuff, watermarks. There's all kinds of stuff you could probably do with, now this guy didn't do that here, of course, on this, and you can actually get dizzy with this thing because I haven't tried this though with like Google Cardboard or anything like that. I don't know if it works with that. I don't think it does because I didn't see any the Google Cardboard kind of thing that usually is embedded on these things, but I thought just for regular YouTube, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. Yeah, it works quite fast here. I can see up to the ceiling, look up to the ceiling, look down. Sometimes you can see the cameraman's foot. Yeah,
exactly. And while you're walking, you can like kind of walk out with him or whatever, you can look behind yourself, around walls. It is pretty cool. The only thing I don't know as far as real estate goes, these hallways look pretty narrow. I don't know if there's distortion involved here.
It's the camera.
Is it the camera? So that doesn't necessarily give, you got to be kind of conscious of that, I would imagine.
You can flatten it out in editing if you really wanted to. You can actually flatten it out.
So it looks more
work.
Yeah. So this is where I think, and this is the first one I've seen like this that has this kind of walkthrough kind of thing going on. But man, I thought it was pretty cool. And I think this is something that definitely could be used in real estate.
And believe it or not, the cameras are really not that expensive. They are expensive, but not ridiculous. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know if this is, I've seen GoPros. I think GoPros have a stand that you can put 3 or 4 GoPros on that would do the same thing. So I don't know what kind of cameras they're having, but I've also seen those other cameras that there's a desktop camera that sits kind of like the C920, the Logitech C920, but it has 3 different cameras in it. So it captures 180 degrees. It's good for long conference tables and things like that. But I was thinking, man, if you put two of those together, you have 360 degrees, and they're small like the C920. But I think they're only USB connecting, so I don't know how. They don't have a video card in there to actually record and hold to.
Yeah, this guy's walking around the house. He doesn't have a lapel mic on him, so.
Yeah, no, it's not done well, but the concept here for the video, I thought was, he doesn't have any of the lights turned on or anything like that. It's just the natural sunlight, so you get these, white spots and stuff, but.
It's quite difficult to follow a guy with the lights and reflections going over the place, but this is cool. This is really, really cool. You okay, Justin?
I'm fine. There's some power to that one. It all depends on, I think there's going to be an audience for everybody that's out there.
Yeah.
For me, this doesn't speak to me. I'd rather have the immersed environment. Let me look at my own pace. I don't want to hear someone yapping in the background. I don't care. But there's definitely value there, right? If someone's going to want to hear that, someone's going to want to have them point out things that they weren't looking at. I mean, it's one for each kind of thing.
You probably go with the remote controlled robot where you can just use your mouse and have the robot with the camera on top go through the house.
I wouldn't even do that. No. In today's world, to me, I just give me the 3D layout and let me put my Google VR glasses on, and I will just move around. And I don't even need to control a machine to do that.
But you need the glasses, though.
You don't need the glasses. You could do it from just a TV. But yes, I would the glasses, and you can get You can get VR glasses for $25. I mean, it's called Google Cardboard.
I think they're cheaper than that. I think they're like $6.
They can be. They can be cheaper. But if you're going to get something that has a little bit of worth to them, I mean, that's $25.
Oh, you mean the ones where you just drop the phone inside like that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't. For me, again, everyone's got their own value. And no one's trying to find their way into this niche because VR is going to be where it's at. That and basically assistance, right? You get an Echo that's going to has assistants in them. Facebook has their own assistants and bots, and Google just talked about at their launch that they have assistants now inside their programming.
Oh my goodness! If I tell you how much they cost out here, those VR cases, I'll tell you how much they cost out here. Hold on. It probably freak you out here. Let me see.
Now, are these Galaxy? Is that kind of big there? Is the VR world even? Is it big there?
People use it, but it's not big. But it's more like a novelty thing.
Yeah. It's kind of how it is here. I think
it won't be.
I know. It won't be. I agree with you 100%. I had that. I didn't have the conversation, but I watched that VR. She's on Blab, and I listened to her podcast. She had a gentleman on from Los Angeles, which I thought was really, really good and creative in that he brings the properties to the consumer. He will go out and do a virtual reality filming of the property, and then the realtor will meet the consumer at the real estate office because in Los Angeles, it takes forever to go see a property because of traffic. And so they'll look at 3 or 4 properties, and then in the VR at the office, at the real estate office, and then the consumer then says, okay, I like that one. And they go look at specifically that particular property rather than going or driving around all on a Saturday afternoon. Because really, you can only fit like 3 properties in if you go out actually physically go out and look at the property because of traffic. But with VR, you can look at 10 properties and then decide, which one is your top one and go take a look at that one. So I thought that was a pretty cool business proposition, bringing VR to the real estate office.
Yeah, no, and it's just exactly what Kim was just saying. That's the way it should be, anyways, yeah. With or without traffic. Yeah. But yeah, you got to get creative, right? I mean, especially you get the heavily density property or heavily density cities. You got to have solutions in place, and that's definitely one of them. I just think you got to have multiple game plans going out there, and you got to understand who's doing this. The biggest buying population in real estate today is millennials. Period. They want to do Uber. They don't want to drive a car. They want to do Instagram and all these other tools to have this social relationship. They don't want to necessarily go do something at different events, right? They want to have this environment that's quick, easy, and accessible in their fingertips. And what we are trying to do is say, no, you got to do it my way. And guess what they're telling us?
No.
Don't have to.
Yeah. No.
They're telling us we don't have to, and we're going to prove to you that we don't. And that's where the stuff's coming into play. And that's why I keep telling people virtual reality is going to change this. It's going to change real estate. I scared a bunch of realtors the other day. I told them, I said, real estate's going to change when you have your handshake, your physical handshake is going to happen much later in the process, much later. And it's going to happen soon. I said within 10 years for sure, but I think it's going to be less than 5.
Well, I just had this conversation too. We've talked about Rocket Mortgage, and they have this thing here, James, where you can get approved for a mortgage in 8 seconds or less.
That's scary.
It's scary, right? But it's coming. These sort of technology changes that make life a little bit easier. You can't stop it. I always refer to the analogy of the credit report. When I first started, and I don't know if you have credit reports there in Taiwan or how they determine, somebody's ability to repay a loan. But here you pull the credit report, and this was, I don't know, 1990, kind of era, 92, 93. And you had this little machine that you went to, you typed in the information, it pulls up the green and white striped paper, and you read it, and you determine somebody's credit worthiness. Didn't have a credit score. That wasn't that long ago. Now, in a matter of seconds from your computer, you get a credit analysis of somebody's credit profile, and you have their credit score almost immediately.
That's scary to me, because that means that if they can bring up my credit rating that fast, it makes me wonder how much information they have about me.
No, I get a credit report in literally less than 30 seconds. So it doesn't take very long to get that, where before it was a little clunky, right? But it's kind of like what Netflix did to Blockbuster. It kind of put it out of business, right? I mean, it did put it out of business.
Yeah.
So it's a natural progression. And I just think that we're going down that road where things are going to become more automated. Fannie Mae here in the United States has already said that they're looking at and will do with participating employers where they won't even ask for W-2s or tax returns, because of that they can pull that stuff straight from the IRS with the information they already have. So and if an employer reports to, it's kind of like the work number here, and I may be talking a little Dumbo here for you, but the work number is a place to verify employment. It's a universal, so you don't tax, but you don't put a lot of pressure on HR for individual companies from people applying, their employees applying for mortgages. So they outsource that to the work number to verify employment. And so if the work number then is a database to hold information on employees' work history, pay grade, all that kind of stuff, why can't we tap into their databases behind the scenes and not have to ask for pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns? Making it easier on the consumer, making it more streamlined, getting instant access, which then creates a way to get an answer to the consumer a lot faster. So that's the way it's going. Right? So technology is really going to, and you talk about, upsetting realtors. I mean, there's talk in our world that there may not be a need someday for a mortgage consultant. I think there still will be, because there's always going to be these gray areas that people fall into, that decisions are going to have to be made, and it's going to have to be a human decision. It's not going to be based on some kind of algorithm. But there's going to be a segment of the people who have perfect credit, who put a lot of money down. It's kind of a no-brainer. It's a slam dunk. Why wouldn't you extend credit to somebody like that?
Let me ask you
Those people are going to go away. They're going to go. In fact, I was just talking to a buddy of mine at Quicken Loans. Quicken Loans is one of the biggest originators of mortgages here in the United States. And he said the reason they launched the Rocket Mortgage, because they found a lot of people who fit into that category of just perfect credit kind of thing. They don't want to talk to anybody. They know their value. They don't need somebody else telling them that they're perfect credit and that there should be no problem in getting them approved. They're already there. All they need is access to the money.
Right.
And so it's kind of an inconvenience for them to have these 2-hour conversations with another human explaining what they already know. And so they just want ease of access.
And how much you think that'll help you guys, open up, widen your reach of, say, customers and available properties? So that really widen up your range a lot? Maybe make it even international. I don't know.
Well, so we've had that conversation too, especially with Bitcoin and stuff like that. And with technology now, I mean, somebody in Japan, think about that for a minute, Taiwan, if we had a VR, they could actually, like that one I just showed on YouTube there, they could actually get into the home and buy the home without even stepping foot in the United States.
Right. That's what I'm alluding to.
Yeah. I mean, you really could. And I went to a seminar, a social media seminar a few weeks ago. And it's a realtor. He's in Los Angeles, pretty high profile realtor. Gets a lot of his business from social media, gets a lot of exposure. And people ask him, what's your area of expertise? Where do you sell real estate? And he said, planet Earth. That's his expertise. Because everything now it's not so hyper local anymore.
Hyper local. That's a good way to say it. Yeah.
So it's more expansive. I mean, he was in Miami selling a property, but he's based out of Los Angeles. So he has clients all over the world now because of the social media reach that he has. Wow. And so now getting tools to help promote him, virtual reality and some of these other augmented reality that will be coming down the pipeline in the too distant future. These sort of things are going to change how we do real estate 100%. In the next 10 years, I think it's going to be a whole different world.
It just sounds so much out of my world where I can say, I want to buy a house over there, but you're in this part of the world. And no, come to my office, it's just a 20-minute drive. I'm sure there's possibly someplace in Australia.
Bitcoin, there was a person, I don't know if it was in Thailand or somewhere, but they bought a property using Bitcoin. And the IRS here in the United States has already recognized Bitcoin as a currency, and then they tax it if you use it.
You can tax it.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason they recognized it.
I know, because it's a revenue source, right? But the fact that they did, does that mean Bitcoin or some other kind of online currency?
Is it legit?
The future? In a world, I mean, we're in a worldwide economy now. It's not the United States economy. It's a worldwide economy. So does it make sense to make it the currency kind of universal? I don't know. I mean, there's some strong arguments for it, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of cons against that too. When you centralize things, that's so much.
I was just talking to Justin. I don't know if you heard, but I just put on Android Pay because my bank finally got a chipped card or whatever where it allowed me to do Android Pay on my phone. Well, I'm not even going to carry around cash hardly anymore.
Yeah, well, the currency is going to change. It'll be a digital currency, but I don't think digitally mining money is going to ever be a subsequent reality of a source of financing.
Maybe not in our lifetime, but millennials are pretty strong and steadfast on their idea of how the world should work.
Let me show you.
No, I don't disagree with that, and I think you're going to see digital money. But again, we haven't been off the gold standard for a long time, so it's as Kim said, it's funny. It's monopoly money. Well, that's what we're going to be really working with for a long time now. It's going to be a depicted governmental price range, and all you're going to be doing is passing digital cents and coins back and forth. I don't give a lot of credence value to the fact that Bitcoin is going to become a relevant source of currency, just because of the fact that the only people that could garner that kind of money was the ones that had a server that could digitally mine money.
This is. I'm sorry.
No, go.
That
was it.
Let me show you guys something. This is a card. This card is also what I use to get on the metro. This is the card that I also use to get into my house. This is the card that I also use to buy things. This card right here. This is the key to my house also.
That's crazy. So you have your key, your money, Metro.
Yep, Metro, hamburger.
So it's universal. One card.
One card.
So now that card was on your phone.
If it was on my phone, it wouldn't be as flexible.
Why?
Because I wouldn't be able to use it on. I wouldn't be able to use it everywhere. I could use this more. I can use it on MRT. I can, but if I want to buy something, I can't use this yet. This is right now.
Right, so there's not enough devices that are using the technology that you can register from a phone.
Well, they have it here. They just started, Apple Pay and all that stuff. But this is the thing that really bugs me. Even, believe it or not, we even have where I live recognize your fingerprints, which I don't register my fingerprint because that's kind of scary. You don't know where that go. But
right,
yeah, it's scary. But this one card. That's it. This is the key to my house.
I know. See, it is getting simplified. Everything's getting more and more put down into one. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I will say this. I saw some reports here in the United States. There are some local municipalities. I think I'm saying that right. That are using local currency to support local businesses. And they have their own currency outside of the U.S. currency. Up in Maine and New Hampshire.
I heard about that too. That's true. Yeah. In Boston, there's like a street area. They have their own currency.
They have their own currency. Totally separate from the U.S. currency. And so it's a way for communities to support their community.
Right.
Because a lot of their dollars, U.S. dollars, go outside of the community. This way, it stays right there because nobody else accepts it.
And that is not illegal. It's not illegal because it's not.
Right. So, and the local banks will accept the local currency as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. But it is interesting. I thought it was kind of interesting to see the Bitcoin used to purchase real estate. I thought that was kind of, and hey, if I'm a seller of a property and somebody wants to give me, equal value in Bitcoin, I don't know. Maybe I would take it. Maybe, what was it like 5 years ago? I don't know. Maybe it was longer than that. That gentleman that wanted to live on Bitcoin only exclusively for 1 year.
And how did he turn out?
I didn't say I saw that, but how did it go? I never followed up.
I didn't hear how it went either. So I don't know. I guess if it would turned out bad, would it be news? Or if it turned out good, would it be news? I don't know.
If it turned out bad, it would have been news. If it turned out good, everyone wants to keep it a secret.
Yeah, right. So I didn't hear anything about that either, but maybe he was able and successful in doing so. Enough places, once they start accepting, some type of currency, maybe it's not Bitcoin. I think there's a couple other online currencies that are out there.
Okay, the pressure's on, Jason. If you sold your home today, would you accept your equivalent value in Bitcoin?
If I knew that I could exchange it for service.
That's not an if, would you?
Not today. No,
not today. So let's be honest. Okay.
I like the smell of money. Don't you like the smell? I like it. Well, except when it's smells like.
You're a mortgage guy. I don't smell money. Be careful what you're smelling. You remember.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, right.
Oh, that's.
But what's the stat? There's probably not one bill in the United States that does not have a trace of cocaine on it.
I know, right? It's insane. Maybe that's why they're changing it. Maybe that's why they're aren't they changing the dollar bill?
Yeah, they're changing all of them.
Yeah, they're supposed to change all of them.
Make them color or something like that, and putting different faces on them or something.
The U.S. money is old school now. You got to make it plastic, with, if you can see through, like in Europe, it's the euro or something.
I had money because I spent time in Japan and in the Far East there, Hong Kong, and I remember some of their new dollars. The Philippines, they had the hieroglyphics. I don't know what it's called. Where it changed colors, kind of thing when the light hit at a certain angle. Remember those plastic things that were ridged, and you change them, and they change the picture. Yeah.
This is old school.
That was old.
The real ones you can see right through it.
Yeah, you can see right through it exactly, and it's got like the picture of the president or whoever the person is, or whatever.
Historical person. Those are really hard to counterfeit.
Yeah. That was like big news back in the early 90s when I saw that stuff, late 80s.
And I think some of this type of money is actually printed in Australia, some places. Yeah. Gentlemen, I'm going to have to back out of here. I got to wake up in the morning. It's like 1 o'clock here.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
you're crazy myself.
I'm always like
nuts.
this, Justin. Hey, Jason, guys, thank you very much. I'm glad to share this with you guys. And
nice meeting you, man. I followed you, so I'm sure we'll see you around.
Take care. Good night now. 再见. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. See ya.
Nice.
So, hey, there's a gentleman right there. And I forgot poetry, what your name is. So my apologies.
Kim.
So right there, looks like a man's been living for 3 years. Bitcoin.
Nice. That's, you know what? Hopefully it works. I don't have a problem with trying to do next technology. I just don't think there has been relevance yet given to it.
Yeah. But it's coming, bro. It's coming.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. We'll see how it goes. I mean, the problem is they're spending more time trying to find who the creator of Bitcoin was than the actual product itself.
And they're not making. There is no more Bitcoin, right? So it's only going to gain. It's going to gain in value.
Yeah, they'll do something. I mean, you can't have it. It can't be a finite, right? I mean, there's not even a finite amount of gold. People still bring that up and dig it up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to do something if it gained in popularity. But, it'll be interesting when I take a down payment or you take an earnest money deposit in Bitcoin.
Oh, geez, I couldn't even. That's 20 years out, man. I can't get realtors and brokerages to accept wire transfers to offices.
I know. Right? They still use that heated paper where you're at and fax machines.
Oh, you laugh. I was teaching a class yesterday on DocuSign, and I was impressed. It was the first time ever that I've taught a class in 5 years on electronic signatures. The first time that most of the people in the office were actually using that technology. It's crazy to me how little that we want to adapt this stuff and how slow we are as an industry to accept something that will actually not only make our life way more secure, but be much more of an expedited process, and we will fight it tooth and nail.
I know.
It's so frustrating. It's, and I laugh, and I told the agents the other day, I said, I get it, because your number one job is to get the business done. That's the number one job.
Right.
I totally understand that. But in the same token, I can get your job done faster and better and more securely, and you have more ammunition to go to talk to somebody that this is a legitimate contract.
Well, it's just like what we've been saying since we started this, right? Video, right? I spoke to a realtor on Wednesday, and I spoke to her 6 months ago about doing videos. She's going to an open house, and I said, how's the traffic in the open house? She said, oh, it's not that good. I said, well, have you done a video on it? Have you posted it on a Facebook, done a Facebook ad? Have you done, have you used some of these resources that we've been speaking of? No, I haven't done it. Well, what are you doing? Well, I'm putting up some signs. I said, okay, so you're just getting the drive-by traffic that is physically driving by. What about the drive-by traffic that's online? Well, I'm not doing anything there. Well, I'm going to do some mailers. Okay, how big is your mailer list? Oh, it's about 100 people. Okay, really? So you're spot on. She's resisting what she should be doing, because I've spoken to other realtors who do Facebook ads for their open houses, and they'll get 30 people in an open house.
Yep, all day long, and that's just it, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah,
I respect. It's no knock on any one particular agent. I respect the struggles, but it's insane to me personally to not accept what's going on and to ignore this stuff. And I love it when I get an agent that said, "Oh, by the way, are you doing this?" And they go, "Oh yeah, I'll do it Friday before the open house." No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she was doing. She was saying the same thing. I'm like, no, you got to do it weeks. You got to do it weeks in advance. You can't just put it on. People got to plan for that stuff.
And they don't. And and I get it. Because there are some clients, we're not getting any traffic, so we, it's because you didn't do an open house. Okay.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
I laugh. Now, there's only 3 of us in here, so I don't got to worry about it as much right now. But the reality is, who's an open house for?
Well, it's for the seller.
No. It's for me as a realtor.
Well, yeah, that I guess, yes.
Statistically speaking, less than 4% of any transactions in real estate has ever been sold from doing an open house.
Right.
But I will gain 20% of my business probably if I'm doing it right. And I'll probably say, let's say 10%. 10% of my business from doing open house because I will convert 5 to 10% of those people to being buyers for something else. There's hardly anybody that ever really comes in that actually comes to that open house, makes an offer, and and does it at the same house they came in to look at.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I've told. Remember when we had all these REOs and all this, and I was telling realtors back then. This is 2010, 2011, into 12. Why aren't you leveraging these properties for your own benefit? Anytime I would get a listing, if I were a realtor, anytime I get a listing, I'd be leveraging the hell out of that listing for social media or on social media, videos, blog posts, whatever. I mean, I'd be leveraging the crap out of that thing.
Yep, completely agree.
Live videos, because that's just the shiny object. You're trying to catch a bass here. That's a shiny object floating in the pond. So I don't know. I'd be leveraging those things, and realtors don't do it. They leverage it by putting one of those little doodads that float around on the corner of a busy street, saying, "Hey, I got an open house. Come check me out." And that's the other thing too. I'll say here, Justin, that I think is part of the hesitation, because I spoke to another realtor. This was about a month ago. I was speaking to him about live streaming and things like that, and he's like, "Jason, I kind of look at live streaming as what the internet was back in 1998 or 99 or what, when the early stages of the internet, people did not know what to expect."
Sure.
It was kind of like, well, is the internet going to be big? Is it not going to be big? Really, what's the deal, man? It's just it's a glorified Yellow Pages. What's the deal? So now look where we're at. Everybody's on the internet every single day at some point. So, I think virtual reality, the videos, things like that, I think you have to build that resume. You have to have it out there, and you got to start. You got to start doing it. But he was hesitant in doing it. He's like, well, I'm sticking to the mailers. Yeah, I'm going to do them, because there is this whole concept of, yeah, I'll do it, but if I don't get immediate results on it, then it wasn't worth it. They don't comprehend yet that maybe you weren't doing it right. Maybe your message wasn't right. Maybe your lighting wasn't correct, or whatever the case may be. That wasn't correct. So the flyer is kind of a simple kind of one-page thing. You put the information on there, you send it out, you get some return on it immediately within a few days. Where videos and things like that take a little more time to cultivate.
Well, and the thing is, especially when you're talking about people who've been back in the beginning, one of the things that always cracked me up was most of the stuff that you were doing at the beginning of the internet was for free, because it was all getting it out there, right? So you could have done some testing. Now it's time, right? And money is time, and I get that. But you could have done, and that's what I did. I did a lot of things while I was doing a mailer. I was also playing on the internet. I was also doing other things where I could get double exposure. And that way, when I was ready to do other things and get rid of the paper, I was ahead of the game. So I don't understand, especially when it costs you nothing, why not take the chance?
That's the point. It's free, for God's sakes. What the hell is the problem when someone's free? When it's free, why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Right.
Well, they're in here.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
No, I got it. So yeah, it's totally. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. How's life treating you?
Oh, pretty good.
Ready for the Memorial weekend?
Just staying off the roads.
Good call.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
It's funny to me too, because I've noticed like a decrease in open houses for this weekend, and I'm like, I don't get that. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Would you have an open house during Memorial weekend? or no?
Yes.
It's a hit or miss. Because I've done them on holiday weekends. I've done them during Easter. I've done them during Memorial Day weekend. I've done them during the 4th. I've done them where these weekends where people open, and sometimes they're out of the park, just awesome. Sometimes they're just not, and it's too hard to predict because you just don't know. Now, if I was to do it, I wouldn't do it Sunday or Monday. I would do it tomorrow.
Right. Like today or tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. But
yeah.
I mean, and especially in our area, because we're in Florida, there's so many people that come down here for vacationing around this time of year, especially for Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
And more than likely, the ones that are coming here to vacation time and time again are the ones that are going to want to buy here or retire here. So this is like, to me, I would assume would be a perfect weekend for that.
I agree.
Right.
You never know.
But on the same token, if you can work it out right for agents, maybe you can get a new agent that wants to sit the open house. But there are what's called life by design. That's a Keller Williams phrase. So if you're actually doing success, you also want to, as a realtor, enjoy the holiday weekend. This is not the time that you want to be working. This is the time that you want to be off. Right? Because why am I actually trying to be successful in such a business where I get no time off? I can't spend the time with the family that I want to spend with. But you got to get creative with it, right? So maybe it's a new agent that does the open house for you or things like that. But you got, it's a double-edged sword. Some people don't want to do it because it's not their time. And if they're successful enough, they don't have to do it, then bully for them. That's an awesome thing, and I'm happy for them.
Right.
But if they're not, like a new agent, then this is the time you got to sacrifice so you can build up.
I'd be doing an open house.
Well, I would too, just because I'm a workaholic. So, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? A couple hours? It's not that big of a deal. And
It is if you're driving. It is if you're driving to a cabin somewhere. If you were spending to go to the weekend somewhere out of state, it is time.
Well, yeah, I get that. I mean, but if I wasn't doing anything, I certainly would be doing an open house.
Completely agree with that. If you had no other plans, you weren't doing anything, yes, that should be run. No.
The only time I probably wouldn't do an open house, well, a few times, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Super Bowl, right? Those, even like here in Arizona, I think they did the study in Seattle as well. When the Cardinals are here playing home, open houses. Although some people argue, well, hey, that's the best time to have an open house because the people want to see the property without a lot of congestion, a lot of fighting. Seattle was having that problem, I think, last year, where people were actually having the open house during the Seattle games. And then the consumer coming in didn't care about the Seattle Seahawks. Mm-hmm. They weren't fighting over bids.
Right.
They weren't pushing elbows.
It's you got to know who you are for an agent. Again, it comes out to one thing: you got to know who you are in the agent, who you're trying to attract for business, and what you're going after. And that's when you do your best marketing. If you are going to just throw darts in the wind, then you're going to get mixed results. If you're a person that doesn't do anything on Memorial Weekend, have an open house.
Hey, so let me ask you, Kim. When your agents promote their open houses, how do they promote them? What do they do?
Magazines, paper ads. I mean, some of them, they do use social media, but not to the full advantage of it. Not to the full advantage of it at all. Not at all.
And so what's the average traffic right now? Where are you at in Florida, by the way?
I'm in Deltona, but most of the clients that we deal with are in Palm Coast.
Okay, so I'm not sure. Is that West Coast or is that East Coast? Where's that in relation?
It's north. It's by like St. Augustine, Daytona Beach, Ormond.
Okay, so is the market pretty hot, stable?
Yeah, it's definitely buying and selling time for both sides.
Okay, so what's the average then foot traffic in an open house? 5 people, 10 people?
On an average for them, I would say about 5 to 10 people. But then with the marketing that we've been doing for them, they've been getting up to like 20, 30 people, sometimes 50 people.
So double.
Yeah.
And
I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
yeah, and that's done through
the results.
Yeah, and that's done through social media. You're using social media to drive that extra traffic?
Yes.
And how are you doing that?
I post on my boss's site, which is a mortgage site. So
Okay.
for her clients, we do free advertising for them through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I mean, we use all of them. I use Pinterest, Tumblr. I mean, I do everything. But the main ones would be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
And are you paying for that, or are you just posting it?
No, I post. We don't pay for Boost on Facebook because I post in groups that are targeted to like Palm Coast, like SWIP swaps and homes for sale, and we get about, I'd say, 3,000 to 4,000 views organically off of it.
See, so 3,000 to 4,000 views, and to get 10 to 15 extra people.
Right.
Right. So it's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been trying to teach my realtors. Like, look, man, yeah, you can get all that drive-by traffic. That's great. But the reason they're driving in your neighborhood, like one of the arguments she made was, you know, you got Southern Phoenix and you got Northern Phoenix. People who are in Southern Phoenix aren't going to drive to Northern Phoenix just to look at a property. I said, well, maybe they would if they saw it online because they're in the comfort of their home.
Right.
You know, they're not going to just lackadaisically take a Sunday afternoon and go drive up North Phoenix and say, hey, what's happening up here? Nobody does that for the most part.
Right.
But if they saw your property, you never know. They might.
Yeah. So, you do something that catches their eye, you know, and they're either gonna be like, you know, hey, wow, I want to go see that, or I could live without it, you know. But even if you get, I mean, we don't get an exponential amount of comments or likes, but we're getting the views, and they're showing up at the open houses, or they're calling the realtors, or they're reaching out to my boss, the mortgage lender, you know. So it works. I mean, it works, and I don't understand why people don't get that. Why? To me, it's common sense. It's like you said, it's free.
Yeah.
That's where, you know, within 5 years, that's where all these millennials are going to be looking to purchase their homes. They're going to be online. They're going to be looking online. They're not going to look in the newspapers. They're not going to be looking on magazines. They're going to go online. They're going to ask their friends. They're going to go online. They're going to look on Facebook. They're going to type in the hashtags for homes for sales in their area, whatever, or different areas to locate what they want to buy.
Well, and the drive-by traffic is more neighborhood traffic. You get more of the neighbors kind of stopping in. Hey, what's this house selling for? And that.
Like, what's my house worth?
Yeah, what's my house worth? And you're getting these tire kickers and window shoppers. Where online, you're getting true, in my opinion, I mean, I would think true buyers, true people who are interested in purchasing the house, not the tire kickers.
Exactly.
So spend the $5 on a Facebook ad, for crying out loud. I mean, good grief.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're going to boost, you know, I mean, it doesn't cost that much to boost.
Yeah.
You know, and if you know, boost it like, you know, a couple days before the open house, you know, do it again the day or the morning of.
Right.
Hey, I have a question. Good afternoon, guys. How you doing?
What's up, Robert? How you doing, buddy?
All is well. Happy pre-Labor Day, and I do an open house.
Memorial Day, bud.
Memorial Day. I'm way ahead, but I do an open house too, Justin. Just messing with you. I was trying to do a joke and then I messed it up. So anyway, Kim, I have a question. With your Facebook, are you doing any of the geolocating, like with some of those open houses on those ads? I was just curious because it seems like you're all over it there.
No, I don't use the geolocation not on Facebook, but I do on Google Plus.
How does that work for you?
I really don't get a lot of traffic off of Google Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's crazy though too, and I'm really upset that they took the viewing counter off I don't know if you've noticed that. You used to be able to see how many people, are viewing you. Can't even see that anymore. And I'm like, okay. So, because I was able to say, okay, at least I'm not getting a lot of action, but I see that, 100,000 people viewed the page. So somebody's seeing something. But now I can't even see anything. I don't even know who's seeing what or what's going on. I still use it, but
so when you post, you don't use geo, but when you pay, do you use your geolocating? So, I teach a lot of realtors when I'm doing this, if they're going to post an open house, to geolocate that stuff, because it becomes an economics thing, right? Why would you advertise, and I shouldn't say why, but why would you advertise to someone in Seattle when I'm selling homes in Florida? Because they're not going to see it. Now, you could argue on the same token, as Jason has argued many times, that we're in a global business and advertising is advertising. But if you're trying to draw traffic to come into my house physically, then I would rather make sure that I'm spending my $10 appropriately.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and we haven't boosted. We haven't done that yet.
So think about if you.
So yours all organic. Yours all organic.
How many people do you have on your Facebook page? Sorry, Justin. Sorry.
There you're going. Right.
265.
265.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's
not much, man. To get that kind of traffic, that's good.
It's not about numbers, man. People get that.
It isn't.
Those are fans. Yeah.
Yeah. That has no, you know what? And I'll tell you what, out of those 265 people, I bet you there's about 30 that are looking at what we're posting, because a lot of them are friends and, come like my page, and they're not looking at your page unless they're like, all of a sudden your friend's like, oh, I want to buy a house, or I want to get a mortgage, or, so then
what are you posting? And that's where the trick is, right? The trick isn't the number, it's the content, and it's the call to action. Because if you have a business and page in Facebook, you got to have 3 things: a like, a share, or a comment. That's it.
Yeah.
So what I'm betting you're doing is you're getting good fans in there that are interacting with you as much as anything else. So when you actually post, you're probably getting better than just 200 hits. You're probably getting a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, because the way that I do it, and that I'm sure most marketing people know and can tell you, is you're building your brand and your personality. You're building a relationship with your audience, and when I do the posts, they're very creative. There's nobody that's doing anything out there like it. It's here. I'll post a link to her Facebook page. It looks good. It's eye-catching. To me, I see a lot of houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Right.
Who cares?
But
right.
Yeah.
It's just the house,
Right.
There's no personality behind it.
Right.
So I put that personality, I put that zing to it, and I'm for hire if anybody wants me.
There you go. Good call. Second good call.
It works. I mean,
yeah, no, it does.
It's and here's the other thing too with people. People want immediate results, and that's not going to happen.
No.
They think, oh, I'm going to create a Facebook page, and by tomorrow, I'm going to have all these people liking my page, and I'm going to get all these customers. No, and they don't want it, and they don't understand that you have to be consistent, and you have to do it every day, and they don't want to put that effort and time into it. But if they did, it's like right there. You just have to put the time into it. Yeah, it's going to take months and months, sometimes years.
Yeah.
Just because you're building a brand, and people, they just don't get it. They just want those immediate results, and that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Well, you can get them.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for them.
Right. Exactly.
Right. You can't get immediate results. I laugh. I tell agents this all the time.
That's
you can get immediate results. It's going to cost you.
Yeah.
So,
right. If I want to advertise an open house, I can spend $20 for a week, and I probably get the same numbers you do, but I don't have to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what's the thing here flyers? Flyers are expensive now, right? I mean, flyers aren't cheap anymore.
No. Well, we don't know. We ask you mortgage guys to spend that.
Yeah, I know, right? They're not cheap. They're not cheap. So I'm like, man, you got a cheaper way to do it on Facebook, and you get better results, and
Well,
targeted audience.
Our Instagram is even way better. I mean, but more Instagram, more for networking.
Talk a little bit about that. What type of images are you posting in Instagram? That's what I'm curious about.
The same as the ones that I posted on. I put the link into the Facebook page that I manage.
Okay.
And that's the same things that I post on Instagram. And on Instagram, we have 1,250 followers, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of networking, though. A lot of networking, which is great.
It looks like you're keeping up with all of the holidays. I don't want to get another one wrong, but wasn't it what was Red Nose Day? I see the red nose on there.
Yeah, to fight poverty.
Yeah.
Right, so looks like you're keeping up with all of that kind of stuff with your posting schedule.
That's a great idea. That was great.
Yeah. You got to make it fun. You know, you got to humanize yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, your little flyers, your online flyers look pretty cool.
Yeah, they're
Thank
nice.
you.
Yeah, nice job.
Couple of pictures, and then you just, what is that? Canva, Photoshop, or what do you like using?
It's a trade secret.
Oh, it's a trade secret.
You have your own, yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Looks like it.
It's cool. Yeah, I could.
I use about 3 or 4 different apps to create one picture.
So you're an app person. I hear you.
But I do use Canva. I really don't like Canva though, but I've used it. Another one that's out that's really good is Adobe Spark.
Mm-hmm.
That just came out. That's a good one. And that one you can do videos on it too.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have, where you can create Twitter headers or Facebook covers or, same as Canva. I think you could do that too, right?
Yeah.
But not videos though on Canva.
No videos, but images.
No.
Yeah. Right.
You're doing exactly what this. So when I went to the social media event, he said, keep it short, sweet. If you're doing an open house, just keep it simple, and post it. And he gets a lot of traffic from his social media by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you,
don't overthink it.
Yeah, yesterday, guys, I was just had my Facebook open while I was working, and I've been doing a lot with the messaging app within Facebook, right?
Uh-huh.
So this lady puts up a post in the news feed, and she's calling out to an agent, kind of like, say yourself, Kim, saw an open house or flyer or whatever. So I just popped in the little reply comment. I was like, hey, do you need any help with your financing? Real story. So she replies back, no, I haven't gotten it yet. So I said, well, send me a message, and the message, like DM or whatever for Twitter. So she gives me her number, take an application online. Good deal, man. So I've been everywhere. I've kind of pared it down to Facebook and Twitter. And I know Facebook is kind of, I guess they own Instagram. So that's why I was kind of asking those questions, Kim. You seem to be on top of it, but stuff is working. It's working.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Because you're still ahead of the game.
What'd you say, Justin?
It's because you're still ahead of the game.
I listen to you guys every week, man, on the incognito. I've been learning.
I love listening to Jason and Justin, and I'm so glad that Blab's not going away anywhere.
Yeah, we are looking at, and I got to talk to Robert too about this, but I mean, Blab isn't going away. The stability seems to be okay, but it's shaky at times. Right? So Spreecast is another one that I was telling Justin about this morning.
Heard about it.
That is pretty. It's a lot like Blab here, except it has a lot more social media sharing capabilities than does Blab, because it'll share with LinkedIn and stuff like that. So, yeah, and Google Plus, although Google Plus might be gone or whatever, but I hear all these people talking about, well, Blab, I'd pay for the service if we paid and we could get more stability, monetization. Well, Spreecast, okay, there it is. Pay for it then.
Okay, but you know what though? Today I heard Joel Comm actually said that from Blab headquarters that Blab has plenty of funding.
No. Right. No, they do, according to what I've heard as well. However, people are saying, look, if I were to pay for it, would that help the stability? I love the platform. I'd be willing to pay for this platform just to create more stability. It's like, okay, well, then go to Spreecast.
They're lying, Jason.
I know.
They're lying,
it's
Jason.
posers, man.
And I'm almost from the mindset. All of that last week, man. Getting it's just like clickbait with everything else. You know what I'm saying? Use stuff until it goes away. It's free.
Yeah.
Right? What are you crying about?
You're right.
If it doesn't work anymore, go get something else. But like you said, Spreecast, there's a couple other things that you can pay for. They're lying. They're not paying for nothing. They want to get it for free.
Well, I agree with that. The only thing that I would say is this: from people that are out there, for us, it's branding, and it's a branding issue for us. Mm-hmm. And if we can't consistently know that we can come on here and do what we need to do to get out there and get our voices heard, even if it is free, it's still not worth it.
Yeah.
And that becomes a challenge, right? Because that's the concern I'll be honest with you, that's the concern I have right now. Blab has quite literally said they don't care about branding people, which I'm okay with, but that means you may not be my priority anymore.
Right.
Do you think that the guys who come on, when they did this drop-in thing, I think it was kind of the death of Blab, to be honest with you, because all they do now is they go to YouTube Live.
I saw that.
And then they post the link on the drop-in on Blab, yet they never even really open the Blab other than to drop in the link. And they do everything from YouTube Live.
I saw that on something the other day, and I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, it's just a YouTube video. It's like, look, guys, I'd go to YouTube if I wanted to see that. I think that hurt Blab. That's why they're not doing it, because YouTube Live the video quality is better. Everything's better than what it is here, and I think that's killed.
I agree. And if you use this platform, just like we're doing, having conversation, right? And you start it, and you add enough. I don't have to tell you what I do. If I add enough value, I'll sell.
Right.
But it's a tool, so I'm using it. If I can get an interview down. Record and get an MP3, a podcast, and use this as a utility and do it often. I'm not on here trying to sell widgets and coaches and people that never have sold anything in their life or run a business. You can tell.
Exactly.
They're
right.
just fronting, for lack of a better term. So they mess it up. But if you come on here and have conversation, man, that's what it's for. Use it what it's for.
Right.
Exactly. So are you guys going to be moving to Spreecast then?
Debating.
Yeah. Spreecast is really, I like it. I mean, I will say I do like it, but there's not a very big audience there. But, you got to create your own audience a little bit. So with the ability to share it on Facebook and stuff like that, they do offer a free version on Spreecast. I tested it out. I did a test or whatever, and they hold the video for 3 days. So my thought is I was going to record it like a screen capture, like OBS or something like that. And then I can repurpose it, onto YouTube and other places. Right. And so I can do the exact same thing I'm doing here, because I use Audacity to record the audio anyway. I don't even use, because I don't trust the audio at Blab. So I record the audio separately anyway. And then I can use OBS to record the video on Spreecast and just do it there. I know Spreecast isn't going to go anywhere because they already monetize. You can have your videos where people have to pay to actually watch them. So you can actually earn a little bit of an income. $1, what are you going to charge? But if you're doing some type of tutorial, like if we were doing a tutorial on how to teach realtors how to do Facebook ads or something like that, you can certainly, maybe do it there. You have to use OBS and some other things to kind of do the tutorial. But you could do it there and then send it to your realtor or whoever. Hey, check it out. Pay $1 and you'll get all the information you want.
But it's just like.
But I don't know if that would work because YouTube, it's free.
Yeah, and it's just like Justin is talking about. I mean, you got to have a backup, just like with all your computer stuff. You got to have a contingency. And long story short, get a website, buy a domain, host your own stuff. If that's the Blab is perfect, not for people like us, but if I just need somebody to hop in, it's easy. It's dummy proof. They just click a button or sign in with Twitter.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah, and so that's why it's good. I mean, if you go to Busker or Spreecast, I mean, do I have content that somebody's really gonna pay for? Yeah, if I'm that guy, that's what I'm saying. So if I'm that guy, I'm not worried about this stuff anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. Spreecast, it just has that option, and then it's better than, it's a little bit step up from Fire Talk in my opinion, because it's very similar to this.
Gotcha.
Because you got
That's what I was just going to ask about that.
Yeah, you have 4 people in there. Fire Talk is great for one-on-one interviews. That's it's good, but it's not. Spreecast just seems to have a lot more to it. It has the chat. You can ask questions. Like right now, you can't even have anybody in the chat ask a question unless you see it in the chat. So you can ask a question there. The host then can pick the question, kind of like what we had here. That's what I was telling Justin at the beginning. I don't know which came first here, Spreecast or Blab. I'm thinking Spreecast did.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Because they had all those features, and then Blab kind of implemented those features. So maybe Blab says, you know what? We don't want to support that because Spreecast already has it kind of figured out.
Well, and then they kind of, what was that Bebo thing that they're doing? So
yeah, they're doing an app thing or whatever. It's like,
it's just like in this business, it's a small community, right? They talk.
And remember, that was a big complaint against Blabbers, or with Blabbers, that the Blab community was that's it. We didn't have the capability of expanding this platform anywhere else. And then they came out with a Facebook ad or Facebook share or whatever. Remember, it was all Twitter based, right. And most realtors and stuff aren't on Twitter. So then they put the Facebook. Well, I don't know about you, man, but my numbers haven't grown any really from that.
No, you know why? Because I'm just in Facebook. They want you to do it in the native app. So that's what I'm starting to figure out. So all the cross-pollination and things of that nature, I think sometimes, and I've learned so much from listening to you guys, but this is my recipe, Jason. Podcast, right?
Yeah.
Twitter, like you said, that's the news feed. That's the news feed. And I could use a tool like this if I want to grab one of you guys and get some content that I can drop in my Facebook or maybe put on my YouTube. Right? Mm-hmm. I don't have that website that has the video, to try to drive people over there just so they can get to know, like, and trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's it. So when they leave, my heart's not broke because I'm doing the same thing they're doing. They're making money some kind of way, and I'm trying to make money too, between us. Yeah.
No, I think I would like to see more of these things. I thought it would be more of a community thing for realtors to come in and share ideas and what's working, what's not working, whatever. But that doesn't seem to be resonating too much with the real estate professionals.
You need some more Kims, man. Realtors are lazy.
Yeah.
Well, there is a really big realty community on Blab. It's called Perry RE. Is it Perry RE?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Something like that.
But all they're doing is Periscope kind of stuff, right? I mean, they're not.
Yeah, they have. Well, they have. They do stuff on Blab together. They get together on Blab, but it is about Periscope, using Periscope, and they network with each other to trust each other and get to like each other, so that if say Robert wanted to buy a house in Florida, but his realtor agent couldn't sell him a house in Florida. So, okay, now they know me, not that I'm a realtor, but now they know, because they know me, they might say, hey, Kim, I have Robert, my client here, who wants to buy a home, and I'm going to give him. So it's like lead generated.
Yeah.
Amongst themselves.
Drop it, Justin.
It's such a bad model.
I know.
Such a bad model.
I agree.
Yeah.
Such a bad model. 2 reasons. One, Periscope is going to be chased away. I know Jason hasn't figured out Facebook Live yet, but everyone's going there. I'm sorry to say it.
I really don't like Periscope.
I liked it in the beginning. Periscope was actually kind of fun. One of the things I can't say I'm a huge Walt Disney World fan, but when I need that little escapism, I just need to see what was going on. I just need to relax and lose. There's plenty of people on Periscope all the time showing the parades and getting in. And it was just that nice little, that's kind of fun. Yeah. And then you had a couple of public speakers get on there and started talking about various things, and that was okay. And then it's obviously deteriorated quickly from there. Facebook Live's having the same problems, but the thing is that I like about Facebook Live over any of them is 1.6 billion monthly users.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's my thing on Facebook Live. The moment I can create some kind of show on there rather than talking to the mirror,
Right.
I'm all in. But me talking to the mirror, I'm not talented enough to do that yet. And I know I could just do it.
Yeah,
I could just say, hey, whatever. But
how do you start? If you've never ran before, how do you start running? You don't start with a sprint.
I know, but I kind of feel like there should be some kind of show and tell kind of thing.
No, I don't disagree. I would say, here's where I would challenge you. Since you think you're not good at that, you need to have quick little hitters, right? I would recommend going after there and saying, by the way, here's what we just did there. Do recaps. It's like, I know you've done a couple of these. Here's what's going on. Here's what's it. And I'm going to have one item every time. Tip of the day. Boom. And then when you get more people in there, now it's going to last longer and you can grow it to be, the hour.
Do you recommend posting in groups? I know, Robert, you've had success doing that. Groups, or do you do it on your business page, or both?
Both. I would do both.
So like I listen to or see Greg McDaniels, right? I see his he's all over Facebook Live. Man, that guy has really absorbed that like a sponge. It's getting, I know, but I'll be honest with you, I'm getting a little annoyed by it.
Well, there's going to be that, but if you go after some of the old guys like Guy Kawasaki, you know what he says? I'm doing it right then. I'm
about ready to turn him off. Seriously, because it's the same thing over and over. There's nothing new. I'm getting immune to it. That's why I'm saying it's got to be more of like a show. Not like our conversations are different, but if I see Greg and the camera seems like it's like so close, there's no depth of field. It's just like his face takes up the whole screen. He's a great looking guy. I'm not giving the guy's doing great. He's doing a hell of a lot better than I am. Okay, I'll give him much kudos, but I'm just looking at it from a consumer standpoint. I'm like, I'm getting kind of bored with this thing. But he's getting I think 600 or 700 views per what he's doing. So he's doing something right. No question about it.
No, but he's going to run. But if you're right, I haven't watched him yet. But if he is basically saying the same content every time, there's definitely a life to it. There's definitely a life.
He's doing other, and he's doing other things. He's not saying the same content. It's just the same format.
Well, and that's not the worst idea in the world. But again, that could have a lifespan as too, because real estate, we're boring. I mean, we need to change things up. Otherwise we won't stay and watch. And that's
what I don't understand with you, Jason, because I give you props all the time, man. You too hard on yourself. You got everything already. But when you say a show, that's just like this guy you're mentioning, man. It's going to get old. So that's with the live.
I know.
And I'm challenging myself, man. It's not two things. Go out, right? Talk about stuff like you always tell me, everything other than real estate or more loans, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to hear about that. And then the key that I found is the video lives in the stream. It's not about the live stream. It's just like you doing a blab. I'm going back to the ones I've done a month ago, and I'm using that as a strategy, clicking those people that are watching it as the friends, and I'm using that as a funnel. I'm moving them over to my group, and then I'm putting in an offer, and I'm using the video to understand what they want to hear. Every time I do something on credit, man, it blows up. So now they're telling me what they want to hear about. So that's the stuff that
I know. I just got to do it, man. I get it. I know. I just got to stop complaining and just do it. Greg does a great job. Don't get me wrong, man. Greg, I like Greg. I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he does a fantastic job. He really does.
No, but you can learn from it too, right? I mean, that's the whole point. I mean, the whole point is not that he's doing it wrong, but you're going, okay, it ain't talking to me.
It's not resonating with me a little bit.
Something different. Yeah.
So you got to figure out what's going to resonate with you, and then do that and be that. Again, you like this. But again, I agree with Robert. I would not focus on a show mentality, right? We started that in Blab, right off the bat. We first did our first few. We thought, okay, we got to have this. We got to have an agenda. We got to have this. And we've had much better success in the last 2 months where we've gotten rid of it, and we've just had conversations. Now, don't get me wrong. I would still rather have an agenda of some sort, at least a theme for every time we come in here. But having that laid out like it was failing us miserably. And as soon as we got rid of that, it has it's definitely helped us.
So the show about nothing is the key to success.
And have Jerry Seinfeld in the back of the.
And it's not about anything. Like that last show I was on with you, man, where you did the game show.
Yeah.
That's the creative type of stuff, man, because I'm telling you, every Wednesday now, because most people are watching on these phones, they're not on computers. So I heard this from you, Justin, a couple of weeks ago. So I just started my little apps that I use. A tip. Hey guys, this is my tip of the week, talking about an app. And then when I'm finished, hey, if you know of anybody that wants to, buy or sell, I'm in real estate. Tell them to give me a call. I put it in all the groups that I'm in, my fan page, and in my feed. That's what's working, man.
Yeah.
As much as I want to tell everybody how smart I am about these mortgage loans, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
So is your tip to wear a raincoat when it rains? Is that your tip?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's corny, but it works, man. I don't know why it works, but it works.
I'm telling you, but you're right too, because what you need to do is build a brand following, and eventually what will happen is when you actually do post on Facebook Live, at one point in time, what you're going to see is you're going to go, holy crap, where did everybody come from?
Yeah.
I wish I could get my girl Dawn on Facebook Live, or she.
Realtors will not. Because realtors have this professional image.
Well, no, she's a mortgage lender, but
okay, that's better, but not tremendously better.
But she doesn't like the camera, and I get it. I mean, it's like I don't particularly like being on video or camera myself.
But here's the thing. Okay, if she doesn't like being on video, then don't do that. Get her to be on a podcast and do everything else. Have a podcast running and things like that. Be in a comfortable environment. I think video is where it's at, but taking baby steps, right? Don't force the video. No. Get other things.
I even said, like if she was at an open house with the realtor, I mean, she could just do like a quick hello of herself and then quick switch it around and just do the house.
Yep.
Like, so you don't even have to be on there for 5 seconds, and then,
No. That's a very good call. I like that call as well. Because there's videos where it's at, and we argue what we want from a real estate industry. We could say that it's not existing and blah, 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 and everybody's going to be wrong and they're all going to fail in their business. But you don't necessarily have to be about you. Although everyone wants to see you, video does not have to be about you. Right. And to be honest with you, it probably shouldn't be about you. It's Jason, when he first showed the video early on about the 3D tour, the 360 tour, was neat. But the part that irritated me is it was always surrounding the freaking realtor. The house wasn't about him. It should have been about the house.
I personally didn't like that either.
Now, again, it answers to different people, and I get that. It so did not answer to me. And I'm sitting there going, I'm tired. I don't care. Let me see the house. Talk to me about the house. Walk around. Be the person with. Don't have someone be the camera. You be the camera. Walk around talking.
Right.
There's this lady that I met through Perry RE. You mentioned it earlier, Kim. Her name is Sonia Figueroa. She's out of Chicago.
She does a good job on Periscope.
She's the one that started
Periscope, but I'm sorry?
She's the one that started the Perry RE group.
Have you seen her Snapchats? She's got it down.
Mm-hmm.
She was at the mortuary the other day talking to some, about estate planning and stuff. She's just everywhere, man, talking about stuff. And I guarantee you she's selling real estate hand over fist.
Well, she does a very good job in this area, and she does an amazing thing. And the thing is that she's authentic, and that's what's selling it for, because she's just who she is. She's just talking. Sometimes it's about real estate. It's about the specific property they're at. Most of the times it's just about whatever's on her head at that particular moment.
Exactly. So you know it, Justin.
And she does a good job. She does amazing.
Yeah.
But she's one of the few that's going to do well. And if she can ever convince herself to go, the problem is what all realtors run into, and she's running into right now. She needs to migrate that group over to Facebook, and I think she's fighting that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now she's succeeding, so good for her, and keep moving on with it, and prove me wrong.
Hey,
prove me wrong.
Let me ask you.
She definitely has a personality, and like you said, she's very authentic, and that's what people want to see. They want to be able to believe in you. They want to trust you. They want to feel like like your friends almost. That they can call you up and be like, "Hey, I want to buy a house," and I trust you, and you're my friend, and you're going to help me, because that's how she comes across to people.
Hey, so let me ask you guys a question in Facebook, because I've sent out new friend requests and I'm trying to build that my database I got or whatever, friends or whatever, and because I don't use it that well, but I'm putting them in different categories. When I get them, so like close friends, family, title companies, whatever, people I know in the business. Is that what you guys do as well? You put them in different categories, and then how do you use those categories? Do they see all of your posts within your personal Facebook page, or do you have to post within just to those friends? Do you guys know how that works?
Well, yeah, the categories are more for yourself. If you were wanting to see all those people and what they were posting. So in other words, like when you click onto that category, you're going to see their news feed, just their news feed of everything that they're posting.
I see. So it's like the lists in Twitter.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. But they see all my posts that I post to my personal page.
If you make it public.
Yeah. Well, but they're not always going to, not everybody is going to see not everybody that you're friends with is going to see your posts unless they're following you.
Exactly.
But it's even worse than that, right? So from a business page, well, actually from any page in general, 3,000 at any moment in time, 3,000 posts are available for our eyeballs to see. Facebook only shows us 150 of them. So even though they may be posting right when you are looking on Facebook, if Facebook thinks it was not relevant for you to see, you will not
exactly
see it.
And they're doing the same thing with Instagram too now.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin. What I ask Jason is I ask them to turn on their notification for me. So
if you do that, then yes, it'll change. But you've also told Facebook that your posts matter. So it's not different. You have just shown them a way to say, make me important.
So, but here's the thing, though. Okay, so like I'm going to do a post here. I can post specifically to that group.
Yes.
Yes.
So if I had, like you said, tip of the day or something like that, and I wanted just the realtors in my friend group to see it, and I put them all on the realtor side, I could just post it to them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's ways to do that. Yes, there's ways to do that stuff. And the only thing you got to be careful about is when you do posts like that, sometimes, and it's a balancing act, right? Because it's a privacy mode type of filter is what you're kind of doing in the situations. If they want to share that post, not a lot of people won't see that share anymore. They'll share it in different groups, but since you've only shared it with that group of people, no one else can see the share.
Right.
Oh, so you make it public, so in case they want to share it, then they can share it with other people, and everybody else can see it.
So you see that a lot. A lot of people will make things, they'll private it down and public it down just to be family only and things like that. And it might be a real neat, article about Vietnam era veterans or whatever, right? And all of a sudden they share it and everyone goes, I don't see it.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because I was not allowed to share because I was not your family.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of counterproductive for sure.
Well, I mean, it's neat because what you're trying to do is it's an interesting thing from a company and a branding perspective. We want to only make sure we're talking to the people we want to talk to. We don't want to blast everybody going, having a Greg Daniels situation go on and say, I don't care. Right. But you also want to make sure that it's viewable and people can see it for people that do care.
Right.
It's a juggling act. Hey guys, I gotta go. I've got things to do in 15 minutes, and I have nowhere ready.
I'm the same, man.
Thanks.
I got stuff I gotta do as well. Yeah,
hey,
Robert, next week, man. Awesome. We got our little thing.
I'm ready, man. I'm looking forward to
it. All right, dude.
For Labor Day.
I subscribe, so hopefully I don't forget this time.
All right, cool.
All right, see you later.
Good talking to you guys.
Hey, good seeing you, Kim. We'll see you around.
Talk to you later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.